Good morning, YouTube enthusiasts, real estate enthusiasts. I want to talk a little bit about time, compounding time. So I don't know how many of you guys focus on financial freedom and creating true wealth. True wealth, I don't want to delve too deeply on this, but I kind of want to get the concept across how we can use this in other areas besides our finances. So I don't know if any of you guys follow Grant Cardone, but he says, I can't remember, you either need 7 or 9 income sources to create true wealth, to be rich, to like hit your million dollar mark. So that means, so many people, they have like a W-2 and you invest in real estate. Okay, so here is your bank. So now you have 2 streams of income. That is great. You could have 9 properties, but that's not really what they're talking about, because each property isn't creating a true compounding income. It's a stream of income, and if you use that money to then put it into something else, that's how you start compounding, and the quicker you turn it is the velocity of money. So you don't just sit back and say, okay, I'm going to buy this piece of real estate and in 30 years, it'll have appreciated and I'll have, $200 cash flow every month. You're not going to create your wealth through that process. So what they're saying is, okay, you're making $200 a month. Don't just sit there and wait every single month. Find another source. Start working on another source of income that's also giving you $200 a month. And then you have, your W-2, I don't know, let's just say $5,000. So now you have $5,400 a month. So every month you're going to compound on that. So then you take this $400 and then next month you'd find another income source. You invest your $400 that now you're going to be making, you'd actually make like $40 or something like that because it's $400. But then the next month you have $440 to invest in another source. So this is compounding your money. So many people in their lives, they're very linear. So you have your W-2. You're like, I'm going to work for 40 years. This job is, I'm going to put a little bit of money in retirement, or I'm going to put a little bit of money in savings. And this job is then going to create me 20 years of being able to be retired and be able to fund me. It is really hard nowadays to work for 30 or 40 years and then just sit back and relax for the next 20 or 30 years of your life, living off of the W-2 that you did. You need to find another source. So many people find this source. That's great. You buy a couple of properties and in 30 years you've had that appreciation or that cash flow is just kind of sitting in the bank. Well, you're not going to get wealthy that way. You might get rich that way, but you won't get wealthy. And it's not using your time most effectively. And it's really kind of a sit back and wait strategy. Sit back and wait and hope. And you're kind of just, you're like this, you're relying on your job to still be there in 40 years. You're relying on the retirement company that you're in to not tax you or have some crazy fees or whatever it may be. And to be there, not have it backed by the stock market. A lot of people lost their retirement a couple years ago. And then real estate, you're kind of just sitting back waiting and hoping that the market keeps going up so you can sit back on that appreciation. Or that a tenant stays in it so you keep having that income. So a lot of these, you're just kind of sitting back and waiting. So I'm talking about your schedule, okay? I'm talking about operating your time. So I wanted to kind of hit on, some of you are a lot of you are real estate investors. So you'll understand kind of utilizing your money and compounding on top of it. So I just wanted to clarify that because it's not about multitasking. We are not designed, our brains are not designed, like they've done studies, our brains are not designed to do 5 things at one time. If you do 5 things at one time, you're not doing anything effectively because you're not able to focus on anything at all. And so that's when bad decisions happen, high stress. That's when you lose your temper and yell at somebody or you make mistakes. We are not meant to do 5 things at one time. So that's not compounding your time or your money. That's just doing 5 things at one time. So that's why I wanted to put it in a financial perspective so you can see I'm not buying those 5 sources at one time. I have my W-2 that then buys another source, the money from those 2 things, then buy a third source, those 3 things buy a 4th source. That's compounding. I don't get a job and get 4 other income sources on the same day. That's multitasking, and that's overwhelming and messy. So I schedule out my weeks. So I have all my to-dos on my calendar. I have everything mapped out, everything planned out, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Well, I found an error in my system because most Mondays is when I sit down to plan my week. And by then, I'm already behind because I'm in the week. So schedule your weeks the Friday before. The Friday before. Or Thursday. I mean, a lot of people don't work on Fridays, so whatever. Fridays, Thursdays, whatever. Schedule the week before. Oop, you guys can barely see that. So schedule your time the week before. All right, you can kind of see it. All right, so that's number 1. So make sure you know what you're going to be doing. Number 2, this is where compounding comes in. I'm just going to say compound your time. Compound your time. So that's why I had to go on a little bit of a tangent to explain the difference between multitasking, because I don't want you guys to get a ton of stuff on your plates, get overwhelmed, or anything like that. But this last week, let's say you sent out 10 emails, you put out an offer. Obviously, I'm talking to most of you real estate investors. You know, your contractor, you need like verify his work. You talked to your bookkeeper to do payroll and stuff like that. So all of these are still kind of pending. So the mistake a lot of people make is they take these things, sorry guys, still can't really see it. You take these things from this week and it rolls over into week 2. So what do you do on Monday? You are sitting and waiting for the responses from last week. Your Monday is waiting on all of these answers. Who's going to get back to me on my emails that I sent out? When am I going to hear about the offer that I made? You know, when am I going to hear from my bookkeeper or that she paid payroll and did everything she's supposed to, and I get that confirmation? So your Monday can either be highly productive, or your Monday is literally just that day when everyone from the previous week is finally getting back to you. Well, guess what? If that is the case, then you've already wasted half of your week, because you're going to spend Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday still waiting on what you worked on the previous week. And it just kind of drags over and drags over. So instead, create your plan. Like I said, the Friday before, create your plan for the phase 2. Okay? So Monday, you're coming in and you're already scheduling the bookkeeping and expenses for next bookkeeping. You're already on it. You're moving on to the next. You're already scheduling it out. You're putting in other offers. We're not waiting on that other offer. We're not waiting on it. We're moving forward. We're gonna start looking at other offers. We're moving forward. Those emails that we're waiting on, depending on how important they are, we're either getting on the phone, because if I need the answer, if I send out an email on Friday and I need the answer on Monday, don't wait for that email. Get on the phone. If it's that important, get on the phone. You're not going to sit and wait all Monday and say, oh, I sent them an email. Maybe they're just getting into it. I don't know. Well, I can't really do anything until I get this email. Get on the phone. Call them on Monday morning. They already have, just say, hey, and walk them through the email. So you haven't seen my email yet? All right, open it up. This is when I send it, and walk through it. Get the answer, get it done, and move on, okay? So we're not waiting on Monday for emails, okay? If it's that important where you cannot move on to anything that following week without an answer, you get on the phone. But if you're waiting for like contractor quotes or insurance quotes or lending quotes or something like that, you have a phase 2, like if you're doing due diligence on a property, do that on Monday. So start doing that on Monday. So like we're taking over a storage facility. I'm still waiting on a lot of quotes for a lot of things. So Monday is getting in touch with the software program and getting that set up and doing that phase. Even though I don't have all the other numbers yet, I'm doing the second phase. I'm starting that because that means by week 3, week 4, I'm done. All my emails, everything I've been needing, my offers are coming, getting confirmed. Everything's getting confirmed and it's all compounding over each other. Instead, if I would have had 1 week where I did my offers and my emails and the next week I waited and maybe 1 or 2 responses came in on Monday, a couple more trickled in on Tuesday, and then I got some on Wednesday. Now I spent a week and a half on the same tasks instead of compounding my time. So I did all this work the previous week. I don't then sit and wait linear and not do anything else until those tasks are done. No, I don't do that. I don't do a bunch of things at the same time. I'm not multitasking. But as week 1 stuff is in process, I then work on week 2 as week 1 trickles in to fill in the gaps of week 2 or to complete the tasks that I had in week 1. And that's fine because now I'm on week 2. And week 2, I'm getting those things done. And if there are things that take a little bit longer, then those will trickle into week 3. But week 3, I'm focusing on my tasks for week 3 as week 2 and week 1 are trickling in and finishing and completing. Do you see what I'm saying? You're compounding your time. So you're not like having a really productive week. Do you ever feel like that? You have a really productive week and then like 2 or 3 weeks go by and you're like, I just feel like I haven't done anything. That's because you're still living off of that really productive week. You are still waiting for responses. You're still finishing the tasks of that productive week. So don't hold off. Don't sit back and wait. Don't put your tasks the same every single week and just have those your tasks. You're going to get bored. You're not going to get very far very quickly. And you're going to miss opportunities because like this offer I sent in week 1, if I sat and waited through week 2 and week 3, how many offers did I miss on sending on week 2 and week 3? And what if week 1 comes back and they say, oh, we didn't go with your offer? I just waited 3 weeks on an offer because I was just waiting. Or I would, maybe I was good and I would send out an email, I would send out a text just saying, hey, just checking in on that offer, which is great, do that. But don't wait. Second week, put in another offer. Third week, put in another offer. Now you have 3 offers. And guess what? By week 4, you could have all 3 accepted. You could have 1 accepted. You could have none, but it's okay because week 4, you're putting in another offer. Okay? Do you see how that works? So compound your time just like you do your finances. So I hope that made sense. This is really powerful, you guys. It sounds simple, but like I said, do not multitask. Okay? And do not have 1 productive week and then live off of that for the next month, okay? Compound your time. Organize your week the week before and create next phase tasks from the previous week. Don't have the same tasks rolling over, okay? You should, if it's rolling over, that means you didn't do it. So either pay someone to do it or rip off the Band-Aid and don't do anything else till you get it done. And once it's done, if it's something you have to wait for, it isn't a task that rolls over because you completed it, you're just waiting for an answer. So don't roll over that task. You're starting phase 2 of that task, waiting for that answer to come through, okay? But you're not pausing and stopping. You're continually progressing and moving to the next phase, the next phase, the next phase as responses, answers, and everything is coming through. All right? Okay. This is so powerful. It's going to create so much success in your weeks, your days, everything, and you're going to feel so productive. Every week is going to be a productive week. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for my next video. Subscribe below. Constantly coming out with different videos about commercial real estate, your personality aligned with your asset class, and just kind of all the do's and don'ts of investing. So stay tuned for the next video.